Welcome to Show and Tell Boston, where we talk about all things art and all things Boston. It's your girl, Shay Freak. This is my co-host, Tata. And it's Ladies' Night. And Tata. So let's go around. Let's find out who's in the building. Ladies, if you could introduce yourself, tell us your name, your age, if you're comfortable, your sign, your relationship status, where you're from, a little bit of all of that.
I'm Mashiri the God. You can find me at Mashiri the God everywhere. I am seasoned years old, and I'm happy to be here.
Where are you from?
Where am I from? I'm all over the place, but I'm Jamaican if you need that information.
I didn't know
Jamrock.
Relationship status.
Relationship status.
Damn, because we gotta get this disclosure.
Okay.
We want to put
I
get it out there
the
now.
memory, like, you know.
That's what she asked.
Relationship status, single. What else do we need? Sexuality?
Whatever you want to tell us. Your blood type, whatever.
My social?
You never know. Who's looking for
okay.
blood, girl? Who's looking for blood out here? You know.
Whoever gives the best head wins. That's my sexuality.
I know that's right.
And
Can you
that's
repeat
it.
that? Nah, repeat that.
I agree.
Zoom in.
Whoever gives the best head wins. And that's just that on that.
That was
Is it your turn?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I hope I got it. Put that on the shirt.
Okay. My name is Perpetual Anastasia Hayfron. I am a local doula. I'm a PhD. I'm a human overall who just does many things. From Worcester, born and raised, ethnically Liberian and Ghanaian, 32. What else am I missing?
Thebomb.com and my domestic partner.
Relationship status, single till I'm married.
That part.
Period. And I think that's it. Yeah.
Sounded good. I liked it. It's your girl, Angie Bean. I'm a multi-passionate person. I've been on the show a couple times already.
You know
Happy
it.
to be back. Thank you very much. Happy to be here with Ladies' Night. I will be 32 in 2 weeks.
Hey.
I am single. Ready to mingle.
Yes.
And sorry, ladies, I am straight.
That's okay.
Did you say your sign?
There's enough outside. There's
I'm a
enough out
Virgo,
there.
obviously.
Oh, I didn't say my sign.
Can you say your sign? Oh, damn.
What's your sign?
I'm an Aquarius. We got mad slander, so it's okay, guys. Yeah.
Oh, when y'all asked about where you're from, I'm from Brockton, originally, City of Champions, but I'm Irish, Italian, and black. But
Okay.
What's up? I'm Jamila. What am I answering?
Everything.
I'm Cape Verdean.
Everything. Yes.
I'm a Sagittarius.
Ooh.
I'm 36.
Nice.
And
87.
am I single?
Not anymore, because she just asked that question, so not anymore,
I'm single
probably.
on my way to being taken. Let's see. What else? Yeah, and I'm a Perpetual's domestic partner.
What is that? What does that mean? I'm sorry.
We live together, and this is like my person.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
We'll get back to that, too. I got some questions about
yeah,
that.
I mean, it's not like people hear domestic partner and automatically think romantically.
Like
but
roommate?
yeah. Huh?
Like roommate?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So, yeah,
okay,
so-
family. That's family.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm Jamila.
Yes.
Hi,
Hey.
I'm Tori Visage. I'm 33. I'm a Taurus.
Ooh, me too. Yes. We out here.
Dangerous.
I'm pansexual.
Okay.
I'm originally from New York. So I've been between Boston and New York for my entire life or whatever.
You
I'm
single?
single.
Okay.
I'm probably going to stay that way for a while. It's been like 3-4 years, but I think I might make it longer. Because there's caca in the dating pool.
I can smell it right now, girl. Woo.
Smells good.
Nah.
Yeah. That's it.
Okay.
Wait, what's your sign? Oh, just Taurus. Sorry.
Taurus. How could you
Taurus.
forget?
Sorry.
Us.
It's just
All right.
Ladies night, pay attention.
Hey y'all, my name is Mango. Follow me on Instagram, Miss Mango _ Mango the model. Let's see, soon to be massage therapist. Just finishing up school, graduated valedictorian.
Nice.
Black and Bayesian, Taurus, May 1st.
Yes. Oh, we outnumbering y'all out here right now. He said too many. You get nervous.
I am single, but he my boo or whatever, but I'm single.
I have a feeling there's somebody out there mad watching this right now. Like, what she mean?
Single.
All right.
Absolutely.
I like that.
That's
Oh, there's so
right.
much to
That
talk about
part. You writing it down? Take some notes. We're going to get to the marriage part. Go ahead, Queen. In the back.
I like that. Hello. My name is Kimberly. I'm a Dominican Cancerian.
Yes.
My rising is Taurus, so I'm loving all the Taurus energy in here. So
Rise
it's going to
on
be a
up,
vibe
girl.
later. I'm 32. I'm originally from Brooklyn, so I feel that New York vibe. But I meandered all over the place, all over Massachusetts, Marlboro, culture shock. But we don't need to get into that. Lawrence. If you know it, Dominican Central, might as well be Washington Heights, the Massachusetts version. And what else? What am I missing? I think that's it. We'll find out more soon.
Oh, yeah. We getting to it. We about to get to it.
So, it's clear that you guys all practice birthday racism, or as known as astrology. Wow. I'm just playing.
That's a way to put it. That's an interesting way to put it.
You start like
But I was
this,
wondering,
Tata.
how does that play a part in like the way that you guys go about like the dating scene, or when it goes about like finding a significant other? Does that actually help you when it comes to finding somebody, or
The signs matter.
do signs matter?
Do signs matter?
Signs don't matter to me personally. I follow astrology, but not to a T. Like, I feel that everyone has an opportunity to evolve. So the terrible traits of a Taurus, if you don't know an evolved Taurus, you're always going to experience those negative traits. But if you know an evolved Taurus, then you're going to see traits of them that you wouldn't think that they would possess unless you actually get to know them. So I pay attention to behavior and whatnot, but like I can say I've dated Libra men, and every Libra man that I've dated has been shit. Every
might be
single one of
something to
them.
that.
However, I dated them when they were in a space before their evolvement.
Yep.
Okay.
Have you dated a Gemini? Because I'm a Taurus as well, and I heard that. Well, I didn't
No.
hear. I went through it. And then I heard
But
that
see,
we
that's what
don't date Geminis, but we are great with best friends and friends with Geminis.
I've never really met Geminis romantically, so like
so
I got
you're
I had a
lucky.
brother
Friends are
who's
cool as
Gemini.
shit.
I have a couple of friends. Actually, I am
pairs well
lying.
with you?
I had to think about that just now. I did
June
date a Gemini. Yeah,
and late May, right? Late May
Yep.
to
Yeah.
early June.
Yep.
yeah, I did date a Gemini, and we were actually cool, but we clicked, we bumped heads a lot. But I was with him before the involvement. We still speak to this day, and he's shown me a greater part of himself. Would I consider dating him again? Absolutely the fuck not.
Goddamn.
Years,
One
too
and
many years
done.
have passed. I'm not interested.
gotcha.
So, but he is definitely a different person than he was 10 years ago, So I just think that it really matters on where they are in their journey and in their life. And yeah.
I kind of want to go off of.
Yeah, you can go ahead and then.
I was just going to go off of that a little bit, like what you're saying. Like, it's more of like a tool, like, or a guide, I feel like, because although you were sitting there talking trash, I'm like, astrology has been around in history. Kings and queens used to, rely on astrologers, like, advice, and you know what I mean? Like, even businessmen, they're like, don't make decisions in retrograde. They don't say that for nothing. You know what I mean? So I think, like what she was saying, like, understanding it, it's not the be all end all or whatever, because like Sister said, she said it all. She was like, you'll have versions of people like those Taurus tendencies or Virgo tendencies. You can live up to those if you're not an evolved person, but you can use that as a guide. Like, we were all sitting here, but right before like filming, we were talking, Sister and I right here, she's like, oh, I'm a Virgo. I'm like, we sitting here, we're like, this is why I could sense the way that you were. Do you know what I mean? And then she's like, okay, I have a Libra rising. We know a little bit, Virgo rising, I'm sorry. But like, we were all comparing, like, because we understand a little bit more because we took the time to like understand it. So it's not like, oh my God, I'm not going to date you just because you're a Sag and just because, you know, the tendencies that you carry, like, nope. And then also, if we're going to get really technical about astrology, it's about your Venus sign. It's not about your sun sign.
It's
so
about the what sign?
your Venus sign, like where the planet Venus was when you were born. So, like, for example, I love like a Leo. Although I'm a Virgo, my love is like a Leo. And I live up to that, but then also I don't live up to all those tendencies. You know?
I need all that information as soon as possible. I'm not wasting no time. I actually do need the astrologies for whatever relationship it is, family, friendship, romance, business especially. I need the full breakdown. I need all that. I think that's my Virgo moon.
Like birth charts?
Yeah, yeah.
Full birth chart?
I want the time. I want everything.
I love.
Do you ask men on
Who's
dates
paired
like
with
for
you?
birth chart?
I actually do.
You do?
I do.
You do?
I mean, I get everybody. I have literally the running joke amongst my friends is that I have literally everyone's birth chart in my phone. Because I also think a lot of people hear astrology and they think just sun sign, like, so it's not just that. And it's also just basically a guide to your soul. So you focus on yourself, and if there's certain situations, how you react to certain situations, where can you grow from this? It's not literally like she said, an end all be all, like, oh no, I'm not going to date you. On another note, a Gemini was the love of my life.
And what's your sign again?
I'm a Sagittarius.
A Sag.
And
Sag and
he's no
Gem,
longer with us, but he was the love of my life. And I love Geminis. But again, like I said, it goes into what she said. Your Venus, that's how you are in relationships. Your Mars, your planet of aggression. Your Moon, how you are
I'm about to do some
emotionally.
research on
so
break
people
to see
always
which
go
what I
and
am.
they stay on the surface level of astrology, and I don't think that's fair. And you write it all off. I encourage people to dive a little deeper. So
what when you said you were looking for all that and family and friends, and what does that do for you, or what are you looking for exactly?
It gives me like more insight on how I think our vibe might be. It doesn't mean I'm ruling you out, but something pops off, I'm not going to be surprised because you have a Scorpio moon.
Or it'll be like, how can I? Also, I think it's a great way to use, right? Like, I'll use my domestic partner, for example. She knows that I'm a Capricorn moon. So emotionally, I have a hard time with affection and even expressing like some type of feelings towards people. So she knows, like, when my way of showing that, oh, I'm here with you, I understand what you're saying is, I'll give you like, with hugs, I'm learning to give hugs, but I'll give you like a little pat in the back, like, all right? So, but she understands, she doesn't take it personal. She knows, like, that's just how I am with affections. I'm a little about it. And then I just think, just with all relationships, you know, people joke about Mercury being in retrograde, but really, you should really rethink decisions you make. You should really look twice or three times at whatever text you're about to send, because it's all about the energies of the planet. It's literally, your birth chart is just a picture of the sky and all these placements and where they were. There was a reason why Egyptians used it. So again, like I said, it's very important, but I also want to say that Capricorns do have Capricorn men.
What they got? You look like you about to say something crazy.
Gemini, the sex is amazing, but whatever.
I knew that was coming.
Guess who's a Capricorn?
Not you. Nah, you said the Venus matters, right? What's your Venus? What's your Venus? Yeah, your Venus is something else.
We'll find out your birth chart
So
later.
ladies in the back, too. I don't want to silence you and forget you on the end. What about you? Is there any way that you use astrology to date, or even just to go about your everyday life?
So me personally, whether it's a male or female, I do sort of look into it. I should educate myself a little bit more with these women. I'm like, oh, I should look more. Maybe I should, rethink the thing. Oh, I don't know. I didn't look that far. I just know I was born at 8:07 p.m. If that helps.
We'll do them all. Listen,
I'm about to play them
I got
numbers
the
tonight.
app.
Matter of
We'll
fact,
do it
give me
all
all
later,
y'all
okay?
days and
I got
times.
the app. We can do it
We're
later.
gonna play the Powerball.
Also, cheap plug. If you are interested in your birth chart, you can see me for a price, and I can break all that down for you.
Plug that in right there.
There it is.
The bottom.
The person I'm with now, or however you want to phrase it, he's a Pisces, and I'm always drawn to Pisces. I know. And me
Not
being
bad.
a Taurus, I feel like I'm, my emotions, depending on what it is, I'm very closed off. I'm not very vulnerable. Like, I'll be like, oh, hey, I know it's your birthday. Here's the gift you want. All right, you ready to chill? Like, what are we doing? Like, want to go on a date? Like, I'm just like, damn, ain't gonna give me a hug, a kiss? Like, what's going on? Like, I'm learning to be more affectionate. We communicate more. So I do appreciate every sign does teach me something, and teaches me not to remake those mistakes I did, if that helps.
Yes, definitely.
Go on, honey.
I like that. That's what's up.
That was so New York.
That's what's up.
That was so New York.
That's what's up. I know I'm just like absorbing what I'm hearing, and I'm just loving the vibe, like this energy, which will effortlessly segue me into this point that I'm about to make, that astrology, it's not the end all be all, especially for me. It's just one of the many registers that I slide into when I want to know what type of impact you're going to have in my life, or what sort of importance I'm going to place in my life, or whether or not you're just somebody that is for a brief conversation. I've always found looking deeper into astrological signs or planetary bodies, celestial bodies, what's the universal energy happening right now, makes it a little bit easier to understand how I'm reacting to things, as so many people have said here, as well as how other people are reacting to me. Yeah. And so it's just another piece of information. And there's so many ways to interact with people that is nonverbal. So that's just like an added little piece that I just want to make sure people know. It's not just you look at astrology and you're like, oh, I'm going to dead this person because I'm a Cancer and you're the opposite side of me and I'm never going to enjoy you. Like that doesn't.
It happens with me because I'm good with Geminis. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me and Gemini.
Now, mind you,
to each their own.
We're good with best as friends, but as lovers, I see the clash. It's like we're both doing the same stubborn shit. You know what I mean? So that's why I can see how, as friends, because as a friend, I'm not tripping on a lot of but as a lover, maybe I have a little bit too more, expectations that Gemini, can't meet. But I've been taking some observation, and about 100% of everybody here is single, correct?
No, I'm taking.
Well, you don't count because you're not a lady. But it's not your night. But,
It's not for you.
But yeah, everybody's single, correct? So I wanted to know, why are you single? Is it choice? Is it not by choice? Is there something that men or women should understand that they're not learning here? And this is our time to drop it on them and let them know what's up. Ooh. What are we lacking in the dating world? We're around the same age bracket as well. So it ain't so we're here, ladies. We either 80s babies or we late 90s babies. So why are you guys single?
90s.
What do you think it is?
90s real quick.
91.
I mean, I'm going to be honest and I'm going to be frank about myself. I am single because there is some unlearning that I still need to do. And
Amen.
I do not need to bring what I'm going through or the things that I'm unlearning or learning now along with someone else. I was in a situation, but that person wasn't going to, not even situationship. I was revisiting something from my past that I probably shouldn't have, thinking that I needed to go back and relearn some things.
Happens, yeah.
Because you know what it was? I'll be frank. It was after a year being separated, the only person that you have to reflect on, yourself or the things you do is you. Mm-hmm. So when I revisited, I was like, okay, maybe I have some more to learn. Maybe I need to. My niggas, I literally put myself through a fucking ringer of like, oh, I'm still learning. I need to learn this. And it's like, no, this wasn't the person I need to learn. I need to learn this on my own. I need to do this. I need to, you know what it also it is? I realized things I learned that were like, I understand I'm triggered. That is my responsibility. Yes, I understand that. I own that, and I have to undo that. But at the same token, I need to be with someone who gives a fuck about my trauma and my triggers and why that makes sense.
That makes sense.
If you yell at me, that might be a trauma from when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? Being yelled at all the time. Like, it just might make me jump. There's certain things like spilling something on the floor. being upset, you know what I'm saying, and overreacting a little bit more because I was yelled at as a child. Do you know what I'm saying? So these are like little things that you're like, oh my God, I thought I was over, but you're not, because again, trauma revisits you, and you have to, you know, process that, like, and we all have that, like, damn, I thought I was over this, and I thought I overcame this, but you need to be with somebody who gives a fuck about, like, yes, you overcame this is one situation, not someone who's like, yo, get over it, and be like, you know what I'm saying, like, oh, that's something that happened to you, you should be able to be over it now. Do you know what I'm saying? So I realize about who I need to be with or be around, but then again, I'm taking accountability for where I need to do my unlearning, and I know I'm almost there. You know what I'm saying? Like, my elevated self, I could feel it, I could see it. My friends who are elevated were like, you know, like, you visited me in your dream last night. I was like, yes, I'm out here working it. But again, on an energy level, like, I'm elevating to who I need to be to open and clear that pathway for what is to come. Because I know I have blessings that are going to come. I know they're there. I just need to undo what I've learned here in this life before, and then I need to unlearn. So I'm gonna be frank, like I said, it's me, not them.
But you know what? You just broke a lot of stereotypes, because there's a lot of men saying that we don't do what she just did, that we don't take accountability, and that we're just going from relationship to relationship being toxic. So you have a queen similar to myself who's like, yo, there's some things I need to work on, and I don't want to ruin nobody's son. Okay?
I didn't say I didn't enjoy dating, because dating's fun still. Like, you going out on dates and practice, you know what I'm saying?
Like, you got practice.
You know what I'm saying? I went on a date recently. I was like, yo, this was my best first date, and everybody's like, you gonna go call him afterwards? I'm like, no. And they're like, is he cool?
Get
I'm
your
like,
toes wet.
but I'm like, no, not ghosting. It's just like, it's a date. I didn't sign up for a contract that, oh my God, this person is gonna be my future husband, and I'm already planning what our kid's name's gonna be. Fuck all that. And I don't give a shit if I'm about to be 32. I'm not succumbing to an idea that I need to have children by a certain time, or I need to hurry up or whatever and become a wife. Nigga, I cook. I'm like, that's a whole wife right there, okay? Like, I know this every day, day in and day out, but that's just me. So
Tori.
Damn.
Why are you single, Tori? You a beautiful queen, girl. Is it by choice?
Don't come
or these niggas ain't shit.
Unless I send for you. Okay.
Gotcha.
Right now, I'm single by choice. I went through the same thing. I revisited an old thing. We dated when we were teenagers, and then we decided to do it again. And I think it was just
romantic.
It wasn't. It wasn't. It was actually very detrimental to my mental health, to my spiritual health. And I completely lost myself putting in the work to
make somebody else
better. To make somebody else better, or to help build him up while I was losing parts of me. And in that moment, not realizing up until the very end that it's like, you never really liked me anyway. It was the idea of me.
In unison.
Like, in unison. Because, and not even to be shady, it was just like, something in me was like, we had an open book policy. He had the password to my phone. I had the password to his. And something was just like, just look at the pictures in his phone. I don't care about text messages. None of that shit bothers me. Look at the pictures. And I looked at the pictures, and I looked at the pictures of the women that he has previously dated before me in both parts of our lives. When we dated when we were teenagers, and then when we started dating again as adults. And they all look the same.
Oh. It's fetishizing.
Do they look like you?
No.
Oh.
No. No. He is into smaller, petite women, which is fine. I'm not that. I've never been that. Even young me, before I gained all the weight after COVID and all of that stuff, like, I've never been a petite girl. So just by what's the word I'm looking for? Attraction alone. Just by attraction alone, I wasn't your type. And then on top of that, the way that I think of the world, it's not your type. He is more into sheltering women and holding
you are not
women.
The shelter type.
I'm not. I'm a realist. Like, at the end of the day, women have passions. Women have sexual
things that they want to explore. Women have gone through things that you may not agree with, but that's the part of life. And because I walk on that path and he walks on a path of like women should be conservative Monday through Sunday, traditional, which is a crock of bullshit. But we'll get into that later.
So you grew apart.
It wasn't even just growing apart. It was just that's what it was from the we had different values from the very beginning, and I think it was just the look of things that made us try to work it out, but it wasn't
looked
working.
like the fantasy that he was talking about.
What fantasy? What?
Sometimes it sounds nice. It sounds cute to
yeah.
call your ex back after prom and you ain't see. You know what I mean?
Exactly,
but you just need to kill it, let it go. You know, let it go. Right, it looks good in the movie.
But,
yeah, John Singleton would make that look real nice.
Right. Okay.
Right. With
But
Shabbat
after we broke up, I haven't dated since, and like I said in the beginning, the dating pool has caca in it. I don't judge. I wear many hats. Like right now, I'm currently in school getting my psychology degree to become a sex therapist.
Ooh. Okay.
So, thank you.
Yes, in the back.
But in the midst of me knowing and me understanding that is my space, I have been a survivor of childhood molestation. I've been a survivor of rape. I've been and am a sex worker. So all of these things have led me to the trauma of sex and sensuality, the power of sex and sensuality, and the healing of sex and sensuality. So that's what's really pushing me to get my degree. And a lot of men can't handle that shit.
I was thinking that.
It's like, it seems fun in the beginning. It's like, oh, shorty got an OnlyFans. We gonna make videos and
complex.
shit. Yeah.
Men can't handle
they like to
We
play.
gonna make videos and shit. And
let's
then
play.
it sounds fun. And then they get into it, but then they see
that you really about that
different
life.
layers of me. You know, I'm not just raw and ratchet and whatever. I'm also very, with the right person, I'm very submissive. I'm very sensual. Shut your mouth.
They say that's their favorite word.
I'm
come out saying that.
like Shrek said, I am an onion. I have layers. But
and
but and then when they meet those layers, now their feelings got a little deeper than they expected. So now it's like, I can't really tell her
I'm
to
in
stop
love with the
doing this
dominatrix.
shit because it's bringing in the bread. And she's also educating people.
When it was when you signed
but
up.
now I need that to myself. And I don't have a problem with that.
They want to consume you. Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. It's the control that I have a problem with. It's like, okay,
Want to fit
this is right now is paying the bills. So if I stop this right now,
you gonna take care of it?
if I stop this right
We
now,
gonna listen. We gotta.
where are we picking up?
We gonna pick up on the finances. Just a second, okay? Just a second. Somebody put a little sticky note on that one. I want to hear from the other ladies too about why they're single, but finances.
Yep, I got that down. I got noted it.
Noted.
I would say that I am consciously single. Though I desire partnership, I also am not willing to settle in what it is that I require. And nothing that I require is superficial, right? So we're talking about alignment, we're talking about values, we're talking about navigating relationships ethically, we're talking about autonomy, which is what you're referring to. And so navigating all of these things, intersectionality, those are important. And I'm dating, and I've been dating, and dating is a lot of fun. And dating is about me, right? And quite frankly, my greatest relationship is the relationship that I have with myself. So someone needs to come in to complement me, not complete me, because I'm a whole person. And so that being said, I require someone else to be a whole person to be in partnership with me. And a lot of experiences that I have had.
Is that what incomplete people?
I'm not going to say that they're incomplete, because we're, as human beings, we're ever evolving, and if you're not learning, you're not living.
Okay.
And so that being said, we're just at different points and different journeys. So we can have an experience together, but I'm not attached to the outcome, because I know what it is that I want and I desire. And so the minute this experience has like run its course, thank you. And then I move on.
Bye-bye.
That's where I'm at now. Yeah.
That's why I believe in divorce.
Yeah, that's why.
Wait.
Ooh, put another guys, can I get some
Divorce?
sticky
Yeah,
notes?
divorce.
Somebody give me some paper.
Come on, sir.
I just want to know what
Divorce,
intersectionality meant. I
finances.
just didn't know what that meant.
Oh, okay.
Why are you guys single over here? ¿Por qué?
Oh,
Oh, wait. Were you going to go? Mystic, were you going to go?
I've been single for 8 years.
Ooh.
My last relationship was, again, the love of my life. He was a Gemini.
Oh, yeah.
He was my college sweetheart. And then we broke up, went a year without speaking to each other, revisited it. We didn't fully get back together, but that was still like my person. I was his person. And then 3 years ago, he died. So the past 3.5, 4 years now, my relationship has been with myself. And I enjoy my own company so much.
As we do.
So I'm also, I like that word that Pep used, consciously single.
Yeah, what does that mean?
It means it's a choice, right? So, okay, it means consciously single means it's a choice to be single. So it's the question, like, why are you single? I think especially when it is geared towards people who identify as women in particular. Women have been conditioned to be chosen, right? Marriage in particular is an institution because that was birthed because women were seen as property, right? And so we live and we navigate this world and this society from a patriarchal construct, right? So when asking someone who identifies as a woman, why are they single? It's like there's a defect with them, or there's something missing, right? So that's why I say I'm consciously single, because it's my choice. For someone to be in relationship with me and for someone to have access to me, that's a privilege. That's not somebody's right simply because of the fact that they identify as a man, and that's what we've been conditioned to like believe and buy into.
And I just want to say too, even when you said you were single for 8 years, I know one of the guys made a comment like, woo, you know, it's not necessarily like we're supposed to be up under a dude all our youthful lives.
I want to say that's kind of like
because again, you know, there's nothing wrong with not being with a guy, not desiring a guy, and just chilling.
Like,
and
that's
just,
not my identity.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah.
And you know, Pep, that question about like why are you single being directed towards men, it's almost like a question of having to choose a husband and a kid versus your lifestyle right now. Yes, shade to the cameraman right now.
Yeah,
and I
wasn't going to say,
I don't think like it's not one or the other. You can have both.
Yes.
You can, and I think a lot of people get wrapped up, and because of patriarchy, you get wrapped up in the sense of, oh no, I can't do this because I have a partner. Me and how I operate, and the reason I'm still single is if you're gonna come into my life and my circle, my life is very fulfilled. I'm a whole person. I have a full life thanks to my siblings, thanks to my family, my friends who are, to me, I treat my friends like family. So you have to come complete and be a part of it. Like, I don't need you to like, oh my God, you're my better half, and none of that. You have to be a whole person. So I'm just now dipping my feet into the dating pool. I was just sharing with the gentleman that you had here, how this is my first full week on Hinge. So it's been very exciting. And yeah, I'm just looking forward to the ride. But it's not something that I'm like, oh, it's do or die. Like, oh my God, my world's going to end if I don't find a partner. No, I have a whole bunch of partners, a lot of primary partners. Well, my primary partnership being first with myself and then my friends. So.
And I kind of wanted to touch base on what you said. You know, at this stage in a lot of women's lives today, like, we're really understanding that this generation of women, late late 80s, 90s, early 2000s, like we're starting to realize that we're being requested to be these traditional women, these women from the 60s and the 70s and the 50s who were abused, who were, mothers, right, our mothers and our grandmothers who were like the thought of silence, and just the thought of being chosen feels very slave-like, in my opinion. Like, I want for you to come into my space. I already know what I don't have to discuss what I bring to the table because I've done the work. I've done the work for self to make sure that myself, my children, that we're in a space where we're good. And I'm building generational wealth, and I'm building, children of society that's going to grow up into adults and be able to contribute in a positive way to their community and things like that. You know what I'm saying? These are things that I'm building within myself and within my children. So I don't need to discuss what I'm bringing to the table to you.
Yeah.
If women today had such a big issue with being chosen, we wouldn't even be here. We wouldn't be in this setting, wearing whatever the fuck we want to wear, talking about whatever we want to talk about, because we're going to be so focused on, oh, well, if I do this, then husband's gonna pick me. I don't give a fuck about none of that. I'm not pitching. I'm not a business deal.
This is definitely a new breed of ladies.
I'm not a business deal. Like you guys said, it's a partnership. I'm not a business deal. I don't need to pitch myself for you to buy me. I know what I bring to the table.
But isn't that what everybody should be doing? Like shouldn't men be pitching
themselves
to you and you be pitching yourself?
Yeah, real quick. Yep. Based off of what Sister was saying, because I'm
notice how everybody's sitting up now.
No, because
everybody's on edge, like literally and figuratively, like.
No, everybody's making sense, and it's like, okay, based on what she just said, I have more to add to it. So, a lot of times now, again, like what we were just saying, our grandmothers, our mothers, like they had to deal with certain things when it came to men that like we've watched and grown up with. Do you know what I'm saying? Like we forget that like the 80s, the destruction of the black family, like we don't talk about things like that. So also growing up with some of us not without dad figures, some with, but we've seen what has happened, and we're all now deciding. They just did a poll, I guess, that more women now are not having babies and not getting married, and like it's just like I'm not putting up with the shit that like my grandmother dealt with like back then, because no, I'm gonna get a lot of slack for this, but I'm going for the neck, yo. A lot of men are now whatever. There's just the roles are seeming like to change. Like men are like, well, she better choose me. Like, well, have her call me. Like the masculinity, and I was on the toxic masculinity and toxic femininity, and one of the camera guys on the other side said something. Men are here to chase. Men are here to hunt. That's in their nature, and just the roles are changing. Like what Sister said
so
right
now.
So
women are hunting now?
No, women are hunting.
First of all,
no, I didn't say women aren't hunting.
Hold on, come to the
First
what
of
you
all,
just said about what you just said.
Girls do
you
shoot
were like,
their
shouldn't everybody?
We do shoot our shot.
Yeah, we do shoot our shot.
And the female lion is the hunter, by the way.
Yes.
Males lions, they don't hunt.
Listen,
females are bringing
that
that
the
game
other day,
home.
and they was like,
you know what I'm saying?
I never get hit on. It made me nervous. It's like,
can we?
But wait, let me finish, because it was just off of the clown joke you just made about, shouldn't everybody like
insert clown emoji right now.
But Tata was like, shouldn't everybody want that? But I'm like, that's why she was saying like the dating pool's different. Like you're not wooed anymore. It's like there's no trying.
What's the courting system then? I'm trying to figure out the courting system. Like I mean, do you guys like to be courted? Do you court men? Do you shoot your shot at men? Or do you shoot your shot at?
Can we have her right here?
Sorry, significant
Mango.
others.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm bad. I got you.
Why are you single?
I just want to know, are we still on or why are we single?
Yes, why are you single?
No, because no, it's fire. Like the conversation's flowing, we're hitting it. I just want to know, what are we on right now?
Yes, we are. Well, for you, we are. For you, we are.
Single? All right, so I'm about to take a hard left.
Yeah, light skin.
Girl, take a U-turn and pull up on the curb.
Right. So, and get super emotional with my Cancerian self. I'm single by choice.
Okay.
And
consciously single.
Yeah. I am consciously single.
Here.
I'm consciously single because right now the person that I'm pursuing is myself.
Yes.
Okay. So I am in a deep internal journey where I have no bandwidth to give energy towards another person. Barely my own friends, and people know that as well. My friends also know that. I don't see myself having a fruitful partnership with someone because it is a partnership that I want. And I want to make sure that I meet my partner in a whole and healthy way. So that journey has taken some time. I'm still on it. I'm dating. I'm having fun. But I also recognize that right now, I don't want to like call this that label, but it's just interesting that a lot of people like to use that terminology where they'll just say you're toxic. And it's like when you say like, yo, you know what, I'm going to paint this picture. Listen, I'm dating, right? But like, I'm not trying to actually be in a relationship with you. I'm just, I'm trying to go out. I'm trying to have food. I'm trying to meet interesting people, have conversation. But I don't have the energy to give you the type of relationship that you're asking for. If you're not with that, let me know right now. We can just leave.
But are you honest like that up front?
Oh, I am honest like that. I am honest like that. I am
honestly, that's where
I am honest.
Everyone should be. Because everyone gives you the, yeah, I'm looking for whatever you're looking for. And like, no. What are you looking for?
That's what
because if you're not looking for what I'm looking for, let's just part right now.
Yeah, but it's
Why
not just
end
that.
it with me smashing your tires? You know what I'm saying?
It's not just that. Like,
not that I do those
sometimes,
things.
though.
I'm just saying. Go ahead, Queen.
No,
go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, like, I'm only speaking for myself because I know how I'm acting. I know the type of person I am in a relationship with people. I know that like my toxic trait is I cut the head off the flower before it even sprouts up the ground. Like once you start getting too close, I have emotional vulnerability issues. This is what I'm working.
You're working through, right?
So I am not the standard. I'm not generalizing people who identify however you are in relationships. I'm not saying that I'm the standard. I am not. This is not ubiquitous with everyone else. This is, you ask Kimberly, why is she single? Kimberly responded. So I just want to make sure that we don't continue to do this whole, just because one person responded a simple way, right, or a specific type of way, that is what all women or all people who identify as whatever feel. Like, can we not, I keep hearing this happening over and over again. Like, let's open our minds a little bit. There's a lot of open energy here. Let's keep it
honestly,
that way.
that's why we're here, and that's why we have a ladies' night. Because I feel like a lot of the brothers here, they want to know what ladies feeling. They want to know what ladies are thinking, because on their side of the fence, they have all these assumptions and premeditated thoughts that we're just bitches or we're just uptight or whatever. So we're here to share all these different, like, we don't know each other outside of today, that we're not all the same. Everybody doesn't want your D. We don't always care about being in a relationship or having sex. There's women who want sex, and sometimes there's a time in your life where you're horny and you really want that, and don't think it's a lie, brothers. We could go years without sex. We can go years without thinking about you and your penis. No, it's not terrible. It's called preservation. Mind you, it's preservation. Mind you, they be wanting a virgin, right? They be wanting these low body counts.
What are you doing?
They want a virgin with 50 years of fucking experience.
But they be wanting these
tight
low
like
body counts, right? And they be
booty
wanting these, tight pum pums and all this. Well, that's what we're doing right now.
My body
you know what I'm
count's
saying?
4.
So when a girl says she hasn't had sex in a while, she's not really, she means it. She's on preservation mode, energy saving mode. You know what I'm saying? Saving that energy from that bullshit.
You were the perfect example of a man to be on this one.
Isn't he?
You were a perfect example.
Isn't he?
Yo, I said my body count's 4.
Because
That's cool.
literally we could
Four?
have. She could
Proud of that.
For real?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
We need you for real? We need to give him a trophy.
Hell yeah.
If that's true, for real?
What did he just lie about?
I said my
He said his
count's 4.
body counts 4. Who believes that? Raise your hand if
You
you
don't light
believe
skin shame
that.
me because I'm light skinned? Oh my god.
That's another one.
See, stereotype. Listen,
See?
no, you're just perfect to
Usually
be on
we're the
this.
ones with like 4. And you're the ones with like 400,000.
We ain't even the ones with 4. We
You
just
know what
lie
I'm
about
saying?
it, so y'all would leave us the fuck alone.
I'm not gonna ask you guys your body
All
count.
right, next question, right, ladies?
I think Pep wanted to answer something.
Oh, yes, please.
So one thing that I'm hearing is like, shouldn't everybody, or like, isn't that what everybody wants, or like, and as Kim was talking about the generalizations, those things were being said prior, right? And we're individuals, right? Mm-hmm. So there's not a like there's not a collective blueprint for this, right? Again, when we talk about conditioning, we've been conditioned to believe that, but when you take into your individual experience it is into account, you can't like just fit a relationship framework. You have to create it, right? So what does that look like for you? And then what does that look like to be in relationship with someone else? And do they have the capacity and the capability to co-create with you? So it's not like this should, because what does should mean? What does that entail? What it should look like is going to be different to everybody, because we're individuals. And even as Kim was talking about, the women, and I said it earlier, and as we've been navigating this interview, it hasn't been clarified if all of us up here even identify as women. And these lead to dangerous generalizations and assumptions, and these are questions that are not being asked, but then people are making decisions from assumptions, and then we're saying narratives such as there's caca in the dating pool. It's not caca, people aren't communicating. And people aren't being clear and explicit about what it is they want versus what it is that they need versus what their preferences are versus what they don't know and what they're willing to learn and unlearn.
Well, I will say this is a ladies' night, so I would assume that people identify with being a lady, a woman, a female, because it's ladies' night.
Yeah, how many guys identify with being a lady?
I mean, we would, because it's ladies' night.
I was just wondering.
Even if you was a trans woman, you came to ladies' night.
Right, but you could also be a non-binary woman, right? And like still show up to ladies' night.
See, yes, because you're
so
wait, what? Hold on. But non-binary means that you don't identify with either. So how could you be a non-binary lady?
But
isn't that an oxymoron?
But that's the thing, right? And that's why I bring that up, because that doesn't mean a non-binary person can't be a part of this conversation.
Oh no, definitely not. Right.
And that's why I bring that up. Because and that's where it goes back to where I was saying earlier, intersectionality, right?
Yep, he wants to know the definition of intersectionality.
And so intersectionality takes into account culture, gender, race, socioeconomic status, the things that ultimately take us from human to our identity based off of our lived experiences, along with the things that we're born into.
I would like to continue with this. Does anybody else have a topic or anything they want to say first?
I want to go into courting.
Real quick on this topic. It's always discussed like with relationships and relationship status, but I'm a strong believer that if you can't be good to yourself, if you're not a good friend, then there's no way you could be a great romantic partner. So people tend to separate those, and I don't think you should categorize that. There's no separation. The way I show up for my friends is the same way I would show up for my lover. That's why a foundation of friendship is very important to me. Yeah. And that's what happens. A lot of people, and then there are some who will choose to show up like, I can be this way with my friend, but I can't be this way with my romantic partner. And that's sometimes where you go wrong. Yeah. Because if you want someone to accept all of you, you show up the same way you would show up as a complete person. And that's why I believe if you're not a good friend, if you're not good to yourself, your primary relationship overall, there's no way you could be a good lover, a good romantic partner. So.
No, that makes sense. And actually, this is a good, I want to go into this because in the group chat, we were talking about platonic relationships. And I wanted you to talk about the importance of platonic relationships that you said that you thought platonic relationships are important. And I kind of want you to get into that. Can I get that mic to you? I'm sorry, I'm singling you out.
And anybody who wants to talk, you could just kind of raise your hand just so that we know who to go to next and things like that.
Platonic relationships are very important to me. I love my male friends. Like, I have a bond with them like no other. They've seen the good side of me. They've seen the ugly side of me. They'll be the first ones to call me out and let me know, like, yo, you bugging. Or they'll also be the ones to be like, yo, no, you're not bugging. Like, this is correct. And they're also, again, like I said, because I have amazing friends and I don't take shit. Like, I would never want, my friends are my blueprint, right? To all relationships. If they can show up for me, and that's right now we're talking about platonic friendships. So the men in my life.
And I just want to make sure that, like, if the person that you were dating was male, you would be cool with them having platonic female relationships.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. My college sweetheart had a ton of female friends. Like it wasn't something that, it's not an issue for me. And if you're someone who, I think it depends on how secure you are. If you have to be secure in yourself to be comfortable with your partner having friendships with women, or in my case women, other women and stuff like that. I don't think that's a problem. I think that's the best relationships. Like that's it's a great balance.
So you have these male friends, and you said they're great. You love them like brothers, right? So what's stopping these male friends from escaping the friend zone and just dating one of them?
Because
a lot of times, if you're that good of a friend, you know what I mean? Wouldn't he make a good husband?
No, not necessarily. I don't agree with that. I'm not saying no. That's not to say they wouldn't make a great husband. I just think a lot of people get it confused. Like, yeah, just because they're a great friend. I also know my friends. They're amazing friends. But I also can tell them, hey, you're being a shitty ass boyfriend right now. Like, hey, you have no business being with that girl. The same way they do for me, I do for them. Like, come on, bruh. Like, you're wasting her time. You're, you're stringing her along. That's not fair. And they listen to me because they know I have their best interest at heart. So some men are great friends. I have men in my life that are amazing friends. Now, on the love department, they still need some work.
Right. So, yeah. And me too.
Just going off of what Sister said. No, just going off like what she just said or whatever, like 100%. Like, I find with my platonic male relationships,
like more male friends than female friends.
I had older brother growing up, so I was always around my brother and his friends. So also for me as a woman, I got the perspective of being the fly on the wall and listening to men and their men talk.
Locker room talk.
Yeah, so unfortunately,
you got all the cheat codes. You should have been giving this to us.
Me for life a little bit, because when men try to tell me something, it's like, nah, I've been sitting around the locker talk for a long time, my nigga. Like, yo, saying things like it's cheaper to keep her. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like those kind of conversations. But my male relationships or my platonic relationships, like she said, like I love them, they're amazing, but I accept them for who they are. When it comes to your friends, you accept them, it's acceptance for who they are.
So no one ever creeped out the friend zone a little bit?
I mean, there have been, no. I have known people for years. There can be people like, for example, I saw a friend not too long ago. We both like looked at each other. We went out. We're like still friends, but you could kind of tell the way we were like feeling each other out, and we both were like, nah, we're not gonna do that because we're older now. I mean, we've known each other since middle school. So, and it's like, my homie had got married, got a divorce, and it was like the first time. You know what I'm saying? Like, so we hung out, and we're like, we are way better friends because there are certain particular things in a romantic relationship that you're looking for that I don't necessarily think that you're going to accept, or you're going to accept in your platonic relationship, because those are your friends. You accept them for who you are. I'm not saying that we don't accept our romantic partners for who they are or what they bring to the table, but again, all the conversations that we have, we want our partners to be their best higher self. So when you were like, is there any way that some people have come out of the friend zone? It's like, no, because I've seen you through things in your adolescence, and I've known you. So one, you don't want to take that.
Seen too much.
You've seen too much.
You didn't see too much.
You don't want to cross that threshold as well, because it's like, I love you in the state we are. Why am I going to go off of something that's curious? Just off of an infatuation. But then, again, romantic relationships are a little bit different because everybody's looking for something specific, and that's specific to everybody else. So again, if these are your male platonic friends, you've kind of seen them, you kind of feel them out, you already know, you know what I mean? There's nothing you missed. Like Sister said, she's like, yo, you might be a great friend, but you're a shitty romantic partner.
So how about what if we killed the platonic part and you had a male friend that you casually have sex with? Do you think that could exist? That could work out?
I've had some successful.
I have friends with benefits that I have been true friends with and been fucking for the last off and on 7 years. And
zero romanticism.
No romance.
Never. No one. Yeah.
So you came here to do a job, buddy.
And somebody got up their feelings real quick.
But it's not like that
happens.
because he's my true friend. Like a lot of people see the problem that I have with today's definition of friends with benefits is people leave out the friend part. Yeah. And they think that all you have to do is call every now and then to quote unquote be a friend. But when your dick is hard, it's like, yo, let me come through. Like, I got a bottle. Like, no.
You're actually a real friend.
This is somebody
because it's a booty call.
This is somebody that I talk to when I'm going through like specific changes in my life.
Right.
And I can be open and vulnerable with and know that my business is not going to be in somebody's group chat. And vice versa. I can cry with him. He can cry with me. That's happened. That's deep. What I'm saying? Those moments of not feeling adequate enough and questioning why we're here and all of those things, going through parenthood and
fulfilling each other's needs in the moment of
battling mental illness and all of that stuff. Like, we have those deep conversations on top of having really great sex. So I think that a lot of people just, when having a friends with benefits, they don't necessarily find, like, I think that the only reason why we have great sex is because we're such great friends. Like,
you know what you like, you know what you don't like, both like.
But also, we're willing to learn as we grow as well. We're willing to learn each other as we evolve. Like, I went through a situation last year where, so a friend of mine, childhood friend, passed away when we were both kids. We were both 8 years old. And when she passed, I was like away at camp. So I didn't even know until I came home and found her obituary on the table.
Holy shit.
And yeah, it was, and for, child, see, y'all done got me started. For almost 20 years, like, not even almost 20 years, but like, as I became an adult, I was always still asking about her, like, to my mother, like, you went to the funeral, clearly. Where is she buried? What happened? And I always got the back end of the story. I never got her location or whatever. And last summer, I spent a good couple of months trying to locate where she was buried. And ended up finding her. And in that process, went through a whole, like, childhood trauma that I didn't know existed. And that childhood trauma ended up seeping into, like, my adult life to where I felt like there was a void. And I needed to fill that void. And the void, for me, on an easier path, was to kind of fill it sexually. Because I just needed to feel a person.
That makes sense.
And it wasn't working. And I realized, like, I had a couple of friends with benefits at that time and whatever. So I tried to fill it with one, it wasn't happening. I tried to fill it with the other one, it still wasn't happening. And it was like, okay, I have to kind of fall back and kind of realize, like, what is it that I'm missing right now? And there was a lot of, like, intimacy issues that I had in that time, but it was more along the lines of platonic intimacy and not sexual or romantic.
Okay.
And I expressed that to him. And so, like, when I figured that out, and it was like, there's a piece of my childhood missing because that was my best friend.
That's all right. That's okay. That's all right, girl. And female friendships are so important because, honestly, it becomes a sister. You know what I mean? Like, guys make friends so quickly. You know what I mean? But for us, it means so much more to tell another female all your secrets, all your desires, all your dreams, everything, and trust her enough that it's not going to come back. You know what I mean? So that's your sister.
We didn't get to experience life. You know what I'm saying? We were 8 years old playing hopscotch around the corner on Warren Street. You know what I'm saying? Went to the charter school together and, all that stuff. And then to leave for a couple of weeks out the summer and to come back and she's gone and nobody has answers for me. It was really hard. It was hard for me. And, I love her now like I loved her 20 years ago. And so I expressed to my friend, like, this is what I'm dealing with. I don't want to have sex right now. Like, that's not where I'm at, because I know that if I keep using that to fill this void, it's going to get dangerous. I don't want it to get dangerous. I don't want it to be to a place where, like, this person has fulfilled me for off and on for 7 years. My other friend, you know, he's still my friend, but he's in a relationship. So, you know, we cut the benefit part out. But he's also been my friend for a little while too. And it's like, it's the only thing I know it's just to fill a void is to kind of just fuck it out. But there's something missing, and that's not going to do. Because if y'all are the people that please me, y'all have been pleasing me, and y'all have been growing with me and evolving with me throughout all of these years, and that's not enough right now, I don't want to be the person to go and look elsewhere, because that becomes dangerous, and diseases and energy exchanges and all of that stuff. And I expressed to them, like, you know, I need kid friend nights. Like, let's watch some Disney movies or something. Like, let's go skating. Let's go to the beach and fucking make sandcastles. I don't fucking know. But something that is kind of soothing my inner child and not making me feel like that moment of my life was not in vain.
You know, I want to thank you for sharing and getting deep real quick.
Because listen, that's the last time y'all gonna get a tear out of me.
You know, it doesn't matter how many questions we have. It's just about the dialogue, and you just let the wheel steer however it wants to go. I want to use that point to bring up something else. Men, I feel like a lot of times when we're going towards calling women hoes, calling women sluts, calling women thoughts, telling her she's a bust down, telling your homie she's just not worth anything but to sleep with.
Or for the streets.
You got to understand all the whole sluts, all that. A lot of that comes with some trauma. You know what I'm saying? You might think that she's just out, you know, thought in it or whatever. But a lot of women have had sexual trauma, have trauma from families. And sex is a way that they're trying to cope with their emotions of feeling abandoned, feeling unloved, feeling insecure. And a lot of times it takes men to be a little bit more sensitive, even if it's just a bust down, even if it's just a bust down. You know what I mean? Saying, like, you can have casual sex and not be ignorant and rude and disrespectful. You know what I mean? And there's a fine line between, you know, just having sex and having fun and just straight up taking advantage of a woman's vulnerability and pain.